So all of us here actually grew up not in the age of technology. We grew up in the age of oil, in the age of automobiles, and the age of industry. And if we just scroll forward not long in the history of industry, 10 years, the picture has completely changed. Now the world's largest companies are all technology companies breeding off data. So something fundamental has happened in that 10-year period. It was a switch. It was a moment. First is that we are in a deployment phase of new technologies, products, and services. The second is that many of these underlying technologies improve at an exponential rate. And the third is that these technologies, as we have seen today during fuel, are converging very, very rapidly. And in the deployment phase, it's a really interesting point. It's a point at which many people need to participate in innovation. It's a point at which we can make use of all the infrastructure that was laid down. We've had our bubbles and recessions, and so we should now be at a deployment phase. And what history tells us about deployment phases is that they happen across multiple industries. What makes this particular wave different to previous waves is that it's fundamentally powered by exponential technologies. These are technologies that improve by 10% every year for the same cost. And outside of the tech industry, we don't really see technologies like this.
You've just raised a really important question, which is about what happens when we are talking to something that is pretending to be a human, and that isn't really a human.
Innovations are getting to market much faster. So it's like a lake where we're throwing stones at them at a faster and faster rate. And the interesting point is not the stone, the interesting point is the ripple effects.
We used to have conversations with uncertainty in them. Oh, I don't really know where the 1964 Olympics was held. And now that uncertainty has disappeared because someone pulls out Google and looks it up, and it changes the nature of the conversation that we have. And we have to ask ourselves, why we, I think it's to Christoph's point, why are we even sitting together as a group of humans? Is it to exchange facts, or is it to have a discussion, listen to the other person, hear what they have to say? Quick positive is we're taking advantage of a lot of this technology right now, which is why the discussions end up being about the limitations and the downside, because we're already gaining from the upside. And so we sit here, we're going, do we really want this? What are all the downsides? So that is a maturation of the discussion and a sense of its direction.
There's one thing that is certain: millions of people's jobs will change. And the final thing is that there'll be trillions of dollars of value that will shift, which will create tremendous opportunities for innovators like us. It's a great time with lots of opportunities and time to dive in. Thank you very much.